we'll see what he brings. I'm really excited. Sporting KC, on the other hand, they got all this money to spend. They're rumored with a ton of players, so for them, it could be an interesting transition. They're at the top of the West.
It's interesting. You never see a team in the top give up their assets and give up their top players.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see what happens as Kansas City. I mean, I think they'll be fine, honestly.
All right. Next question.
I got you. We'll go with this middle one. Ooh, I like this topic. I really like this topic.
What is it?
It's the International Champions Cup.
Ah, yes. My favorite.
So, for those who don't know, International Champions Cup, preseason tournament played in America where all the big European teams come here. They come play. You know, they get ready for their preseason. It's basically a preseason tournament. Now, my question for you, Steven, is I tweeted this out actually yesterday.
Yes, you did tweet this out.
I tweeted this yesterday.
Firestorm. Controversy. Hot take.
I said that.
Hot take, please.
Okay,
whoop, whoop.
okay. I said that the ICC shows that there's a market for soccer in America that the MLS has just not tapped yet. Do you think that the ICC shows that there's a market for soccer in the United States?
Of course. But here's the problem. People don't understand, and what Major League Soccer doesn't understand, what the media doesn't understand. I'm going to go on about who does not understand the market. People love soccer here in the United States.
Oh, for sure.
And when you bring El Clasico, now El Clasico, yes, it's a matchup. It's a Super Bowl matchup times 100. It is that big. You have Messi, Neymar, Suarez, Luka Modric, Toni Kroos.
No
Ronaldo, but we have the All-Star break, and we'll see if he makes appearance there. The thing is, not only do they have history, they have the stardom. That's the problem. It's entertaining to watch them. Draymond Green, the Golden State power forward.
He was like with the Barcelona players, right?
He was hanging with the Barcelona players, but he was foaming out of his sides.
Yeah.
Talking about
they were excited
Messi
too, though.
And Suarez and Neymar. And then you had Common Sue, the defensive lineman for Miami. I don't know who he was sporting. I suppose he was one of the clubs, but he was there, and he said it was a fantastic matchup, and how a lot of NFL players play FIFA and watch these games. So it's the entire country will watch soccer. I mean, the Women's World Cup final against Japan in 2015 is the highest ever rated soccer game. Like it's only gone up. Now the problem is it's Major League Soccer. It's boring to watch. You went to FC Dallas, Vancouver Whitecaps last night. How many people were there?
I mean, they said 15,000, but I'm pretty sure there's catfishing us that number.
Exactly. So if you watched L.A. versus Seattle last night, it felt relatively smaller of a stadium crowd. That's the issue. It's not that there's no soccer market in America. I need to pronounce my words here. It's that MLS has a problem with the soccer market because people much rather watch the ICC games than MLS. Last night, I bet you majority of the country was watching ICC El Clasico.
I was watching Vancouver and Dallas. I was watching the game.
Well, because you were forced to be there.
But I was watching it.
What?
I was watching the El Clasico while watching the other game.
Oh, you were? You were there? Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I honestly was. I mean, the El Clasico, the first 50 minutes were more entertaining than what a lot of that game had. My thing is this. A lot of people have a lot of issues with the ICC. They said, people are wasting their money. It's not a waste of time. It's a waste of time. These players aren't trying, blah, blah, blah.
Last night they tried.
My thing is this. If people are going to pay money for it, so be it. So be it.
Last night they tried. El Clasico players got heated. It was great.
It's such a great event, and people are like, why do they have the ICC in America? It pulls numbers.
Oh,
it
it
makes
sells
so much money.
Stadiums.
It's crazy, and the fact that people are upset by it and whatnot, it's kind of bizarre. But I mean, I do think it shows that MLS needs to tap into that, and hopefully they'll tap into it soon. Maybe we'll be seeing them sell out stadiums left and right. But
they do sell out stadiums. Atlanta, Orlando, Toronto, Seattle, but those are big markets. Portland, you have big markets there. I don't understand. understand. It's a weird connection. I get it. I'd much rather go watch El Clasico because it's a rare thing. You can always go watch FC Dallas in an MLS matchup. That you can do. You can't ever watch El Clasico live. But take out El Clasico. Say PSG versus Juventus. That pulled numbers. I mean, the same day that there was the Gold Cup final, you had 3 champions.
I was at Buffalo Hot Wings. I was seeing like games left and right.
I mean, I think it was, and it was the big clubs playing. It was Barcelona, Juventus,
City.
PSG, City, United, Real Madrid. I don't know if I said them, but it's these huge teams, and people like watching them. What MLS needs to learn is they need stars, and stars is what sells tickets.
Cool.
Alrighty, moving on.
Oh, here we go. Grab that card. Let's see. Ooh.
Oh, another move in Major League Soccer. 27-year-old.
You're getting all the transfer moves, man.
I know you're getting all the transfer
okay.
moves. Jonathan Dos Santos is joining little brother Giovanni as a member of the LA Galaxy. $5 million.
That's cheap. In my opinion, it's cheap. He was a fantastic player in the Confederations Cup.
He was named best 11.
Do you know who's mad about this?
Who?
Liga MX people.
Why?
They're pissed. They're saying he's a traitor, not traitor, but he's selling out. He's trash. Eltree is screwed.
Why?
Because that's how they view MLS, as a retirement league. I think this is a fantastic move for the LA Galaxy to combine him with Gio. They fired their coach. Oh wait, was that the next topic or? No.
I was to say you raise a really interesting point.
What was the point?
These Mexican players. You have Giovanni and Jonathan Dos Santos, huge Mexican stars.
They're huge.
Would they rather play in America or League MX? Not just MLS or League MX. That's a question we should start asking ourselves.
Actually, that's a really interesting point.
Because yes, League MX it's
better.
I would say it's better quality. It's more football oriented, but for your name and to build a name brand, I think MLS offers more.
You think?
Yes.
Well, yeah, because if you especially go to those like big time cities like LA,
yeah, but
like New York.
Not only do you have the Mexican population loving you, you have the entire states because you're one of the stars. If he goes to League MX, how big of a star is he compared to in MLS?
Well, I mean, the counter argument maybe is what if Chicharito went to Liga MX? I feel like it'd be crazy. With where a team went to, it'd be crazy to see the reaction of those teams and all of those fans. I think any Mexican star would want to wouldn't mind playing in Mexico, but I feel like they want to live in the United States. They want to raise their family in the United States. So I think that's why a lot of them probably are going to move to the United States.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just my assumption. I'm not sure, but the Liga MX is quality and all, but it's just what the United States can bring, like you said, to their brand potentially, is pretty impressive.
On the field, this really opens up LA Galaxy.
Oh my goodness, they needed this.
Yes, they needed it. He's going to bring creativity. He's going to push the ball up the field. He's going to bring balance to that midfield. But how is I wonder how big of an impact he's actually going to make in the long term. Do you think this is going to suddenly propel LA Galaxy to a club who's won one game at home but has league best 5 wins on the road or something like that? Like,
just the thing that scared me the most is how much of a parallel this is with Seattle last year. If you look at it, Seattle, what they do? They fired their head coach. They fired Ziggy Schmidt. They brought in Brian Schmetzer, and they brought in Nicolas Lodero.
Yeah.
So what's LA doing? They fired Kurt Onalfo, they hired Ziggy Schmidt, and they're bringing in Jonathan Dos Santos. That could be that push. And especially with a team like LA, who's already talented with Alessandrini, Gio, there could be potential for a MLS push.
I see where
you
see
the parallels.
You do, but how often does that happen?
What's happened the last 2 years of MLS?
I guess.
It's the trend. It's the trend. You get hot in the middle of the season and you go up.
I mean, all you have to do is make the playoffs.
Once the playoffs, it's a free-for-all. It's a cup. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, and it's incredible to note that you can waste half your season in Major League Soccer and still win the cup.
Absolutely, and to bring in a player of Jonathan's stature, played at Barcelona, played in the Spanish League. This is a fantastic signing for not only MLS and for the Galaxy.
It's a fantastic
signing all around.
All right, last question. Shiggy Schmidt.
Yep. And actually, it's about Ziggy Schmidt. So he was hired by the LA Galaxy. He was a former Seattle head coach. What does this mean? I think we talked about this a little bit with the Jonathan.
Yeah, good parallel here.
Yeah, so what do you think this means for the Galaxy?
I think it's he was announced, Shiggy Schmidt, was it hours before or hours after?
Hours after. It was hours after, for sure.
No, well, first you had hours before Kurt Analfa being sacked, right?
Right.
And then you got the hiring of Shiggy Schmidt, the all-time winningest coach in Major League Soccer.
Oh, for sure.
So you had that. I think it was a power move or power grab because you have Bob Bradley at LAFC. I'm sure the Galaxy had some sort of inclination that that's going to happen there.
You think?
I do. And with Analfa, the problem is Analfa was hired to change direction.
I thought they were going to transition to a much younger side. That's why they hired him.
I think what the LA Galaxy wanted to do is what the Red Bulls and FC Dallas do so well.
Right.
Is what
Galaxy have a great academy as well.
Sure, but what the problem is they want stars, so they sign these stars, and then you can't give playing time to the young kids.
Right, exactly.
So what do? So Analfo comes in, he's screwed on the transition of the Beckham, Keane, Donovan, not Lampard, but Stevie Gerrard experiment to now what? So then LA Galaxy realizes, well, we're trash. LAFC's about to, well, we don't know who they're going to make, but supposedly make splashes with players. Now they did with the coach. Well, we're going to make a splash with the coach. He was at LA years ago, Shiggy Schmidt,
right.
With the Galaxy, winning there. So why not? And then we're going to bring in Jonathan Dos Santos. Hopefully we can attract and be successful, because the LA Galaxy, what they need to do is prepare for the divide of the city. And you want to make sure you're successful, because if the LA Galaxy start to fall back in the coming next couple of years, LAFC is suddenly going to propel themselves as a bigger brand than LA Galaxy.
I feel like you're looking too much into the future in this one. I feel like this is just a short-term signing. I feel like
you don't think Shiggy Schmidt's going to be there for 3-4 seasons?
I would be very surprised if he did. I mean, in my opinion, I think...
So this is for the next 18 months?
I think it's a stopgap. I think because LA was floundering. And once you make one big move, it's not too hard to make the other. They pull the trigger on Jonathan. They come in and they pull the trigger on Onalfo. Onalfo's been horrible. They've only had one home win.
But he has the league best 5 road wins.
Well, yeah, that's cool, man. I mean... It's a great accomplishment, but if you can't win at home, like we've mentioned before, you are screwed in MLS.
But he's winning on the road.
But you need to win at home.
You're winning on the road, so it kind of makes up for the...
One
thing if he sucked on the road and sucked at home, but he's good on the road and sucked at home.
I think it's a much of a short term signing. I think he's just gonna stable the ship a little bit, and then he'll leave. Like you said, within those 18 months. That's my 2 cents.
He's an older coach. I don't know if he wants to stick around for that long and have to go through the daily life of being a football manager. I mean, it's a tough job,
especially in LA.
Yeah, and then add the added pressure of LAFC starting next season. I think this was a move to try to create headlines with the Jonathan Dos Santos signing, and hopefully make a wave that's just as big, if not bigger, than what LAFCs are planning on doing. Because LA Galaxy, I don't think have an idea. I mean, sure, they have,
They're stuck. They're in this weird transition phase where they're trying to go youth, but they need that star power. They're LA.
You know who the Galaxy remind me of?
Who?
The national team.
Yes, exactly.
They're on the same similar path.
Except I think the Galaxy are a little better off. With the younger signings, especially Jonathan, Gio, Alessandrini's played really well.
Yeah, no, I think the Galaxy, because they have the potential to grab whoever they want.
Right, exactly.
The U.S. men's national team.
But I see the parallel you're making.
Yes.
We're making too many parallels today, man.
Yeah, it's a weird show. So those are the 5 hottest topics in Major League Soccer, especially this past week.
This past week, craziness, man.
Yes. Up next, Charles Boehm.
Poem like poem. That's what he told me.
Yeah, that's what he told us. Will be joining us to discuss the All-Star break, MLS, and U.S. Men's National.